This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
Hi, Bashrat, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so I have a module and then I'll show you the lab for that. Then you'll do two labs, which
Okay.
is the partition lab and the troubleshooting lab together, right?
Okay.
Before that, let me know if you have any queries, questions.
Uh, yeah, about that SSL offloading scenario where there is like one leg and two leg. So
Right.
I mean, from the lab and all, it's clear like how the configuration is done. But what I'm feeling is like I'm still lacking the concepts. You know, like which one is more preferred and which one would be uh, suitable in what scenario, like this kind of
You mean
concerns.
between that HTTP front end front end encrypted and back end not encrypted and both encrypted, right?
Correct.
Okay. What exactly are you confused with here? When to use it?
I mean, what in what scenarios, which one would be more preferred? Like uh, what we had at our workplace was, I think the first one where the guys used to ask us like, you know, your servers are going to stay on HTTP and um, the load balancing. I mean, the SSL part, it's done at their side, but then later on they did the change. So I had concerns as well, like, you know, which one and what could be the reason for the change from one setup to a different one. I
Okay.
mean, there
How,
could
what
be,
was your previous setup and what is your existing setup?
yeah, the first one initially they had the one only where from outside connections,
Hmm.
it's the encrypted one, but between the load balancer and the server, it's HTTP port 80.
Right.
Later on, they changed it to both
Full
SS.
encryption.
Correct. Sorry.
They changed it to full encryption, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. Normally, we use the SSL offload for a couple of things. All right. That I want to protect our backend server, right? To reduce the load on the backend server, so that they don't do SSL offloading. That means if the backend server will not do SSL offloading, that means it is going to reduce the CPU and the memory usage on the server, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, I can do a server consolidation with the SSL offload because I can have the servers that can be deployed without the need of SSL certificates, right? And that means I am removing the complexity of having multiple certificates,
Correct.
right, sir? Fourth, I would use that SSL offload because it becomes easy for me to upgrade the servers, right? Because I don't have to do any SSL configuration because all that is managed by the ADC.
Right.
All right. Where do you use this SSL offload? We are using it in e-commerce website because we want to protect the sensitive customer data during the online transactions. We are using it on the banking applications just to make sure that there is a secure communication online for banking service. All right. And any web-based application that we are going to be accessing securely, and that is going to handle the sensitive data, right?
Okay.
Okay. Also, we're going to use it for the VDI just to secure the communication between the client,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Okay. And uh, if you want to know when to use end-to-end encryption, right?
Hmm.
Uh, One that basically, if you're running any kind of financial institute, right? Because you want to now protect your credit card information, you want to protect every transactions and any online transaction that you're gonna do. So even in e-commerce, e-commerce can fit in both the scenarios where you want to do SSL offload and where you want to do end-to-end encryption, right? Okay.
Okay.
So if you're gonna use the end-to-end encryption, basically you are going to be using it where in a scenario where you want to maintain the data confidentiality throughout the where the data is traveling, right? Throughout the data transactions.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to keep that confidential from the time it goes out of the client into the ADC, from the ADC to the backend server, right? You want to protect that or maintain that confidentiality throughout the entire transaction of the data, right?
Correct.
Okay, so where would you use it in financials, like the banking sectors, okay, or
Hmm.
any auditing firms? You can use it in the healthcare because you want to safeguard the patient's information, right?
Right.
You can use it even in your internal network because you want to protect all the data that is in transit. Okay, you want to make sure that there is a compliance in your company where they want to have a full encryption of the data.
Okay.
That is if you're going to be using NEPC IDSS, that is your payment card industry data security standard, right?
Okay.
All right. Or if you're going to be having a remote access, then I would give you end-to-end encryption.
Okay.
But remember one thing: when you give an end-to-end encryption, okay, there will be a slag on the performance because of the overhead to the servers, because now the servers is also doing encryption and decryption, right?
Okay.
And you can only do it when your ADC and the backend server can support end-to-end encryption. Not all the servers or not all the applications can support end-to-end encryption.
Okay.
All right. But remember one thing: when you do end-to-end encryption, you're adding a complexity on your configuration, right?
Hmm.
Because you now need additional configuration steps that you're going to do on your server part.
Okay. So I have a question here, sir. The
Mm.
WAF features are like, is it interrelated or dependent in some way with load balancer or?
So, see, WAF is your in regards to your application. You want to protect the application, right?
Right.
And that is where the WAF comes. Regardless, you have load balancing or not, as long as there is a HTTP traffic coming, you
Yeah.
can have WAF.
Okay.
Okay, so WAF can work on both HTTP and HTTPS traffic. This load
Hmm.
balancing, remember, is just an additional features in the NetScaler.
Right.
So WAF is also an additional feature.
Okay.
Now you, because at the moment you're protecting the servers with the load balancing and SSL offload, right?
Correct.
WAF is to protect your applications.
Yeah, but my doubts were because we came across this kind of issues. Again, when what the teams claim that it is, we are enabling WAF under learning mode, and then we see that it started interfering with the functionalities of the programs. And I also had a doubt when, because the portal, we have some applications that are like published on port 443 HTTPS,
Right,
but then it's a solution called the paperless meeting. So it's like for the board members to review and document confidential documents and get their approvals or get the votes or sign the documents. So it seems to work on, I believe, sockets concept, wherein they are utilizing port 8443. So it seems the users, they will initially log in on the portal on port 443, but then once they launch the meeting, the sockets is being utilized. 8443 is being utilized. Now, for me as a general, I mean, IT guy, I used to assume
Because,
like it's going to be two ports. Uh,
but
that
do you know why they use port 8443?
not sure.
Because it is also used for your HTTPS traffic, which
Okay,
is this is an alternate to the default port 443. Okay,
okay,
you're gonna use the because your 443 can be blocked or can be unavailable because of your firewall or network configuration, right?
okay,
Or certain application will not allow port 443, they only want to use 8443.
okay.
All right. Also, there are some circumstances or situations where if you use port 443, which is already being used with another service, it could be adding a conflict. So just to avoid those kind of conflicts with your meetings or you know the other solutions, that's
Right.
when they use port 8443, and then it can avoid the conflict.
Okay, okay,
All right. Even though your HTTPS port 443 and 8443 is used for HTTPS, they will both make sure there is encrypted communication between your client and the server.
okay.
All right. And most commonly, your port 443 is used. Okay.
Mhm.
And we are going to use 8443 when port 443 is not available or when the application does not work on port 443.
But I think it's more like the third scenario, like you said, maybe not to interfere because,
Yes.
yeah, the reason I got confused in the first place because once we had this implemented and this traffic was requested, our security team they would say that this is 443 and it's allowed, and then we would say that it's not connecting. The portal is
Yes.
launching, we are able to log in, but then the meeting doesn't function, the function doesn't work.
Yeah, there are two scenarios. One, there could be a conflict, or secondly, that particular application does not support port 443.
Uh, Okay, or maybe it's like dual purpose, like 443 is for the portal, but when they are launching or sharing the documents, it's
Mhm.
utilizing or relying on 8443.
Right.
Yeah, but this is my confusion here is also because, like, for me, who's not purely into security or all these things or networking, so I would generally go with the idea thinking that 443 is a different port and 8443 is a different port.
There are two
So
different ports, yes, but they both serve the encrypted communication.
mhm. So I mean, as opposed to port 80 and 443, where 80 is not at all secure, but
Right.
443 is secure and 8443 as well. But I would think that it's two different ports
So
and two different. So yeah, I guess maybe that's. And they would say that no, it's allowed. It's like, come on, I'm asking for 8443. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like how is
uh,
it the same thing?
no, because 443 is used standardly everywhere by default. Okay.
Okay.
And 8443, which is an alternate to your port 443, which is also using HTTPS, as I said, but you use it for specific cases, okay,
Okay.
where you're not allowing port 443 or is blocked, as I said, and because it is least common,
Hmm.
but it is a valid port for HTTPS,
Okay.
okay. So if you see port 443, right, same
Hmm.
thing, same usage as port 443 as well, but where you going to use it because you can use it to access your do a secure web access for your applications, right?
Hmm.
You can use it for your proxy servers, you can use it for your networking devices.
Okay.
Because everyone will say, "Oh, just open port 80 and port 443 should work," right?
Right.
No, because and port 443 is now commonly used by everybody. So probably you'll see there'll be a lot of traffic on port 443. So you shift it to 8443.
Hmm.
So primarily they could be using it for two or three scenarios in your organization. One, to avoid the conflict. Two, maybe your application is only supporting port 8443 in the backend.
Okay.
And three, just to enhance the security as well, because uh, uh, people will just think, oh, he's using port 80 or port 443, right? Because I can use it for proxy as well.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yep.
Right, sir. So after this, once I show you the lab, you will do two labs, one for your partitions and one for the troubleshooting, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, can you teach anybody how to troubleshoot?
I mean, not completely, but yeah, I could, I
You
think
can?
give them some uh, awareness about, what tools can be used,
Can
or
you teach how to troubleshoot, or you can give awareness about troubleshooting? If I tell you I have a problem with my SQL server not connecting to the ADC,
yes.
can you teach me how to troubleshoot?
I could, I mean, I don't get your point exactly when you say
No.
trouble, like
Can you teach me how
completely.
to troubleshoot?
Sorry.
I have a problem, let's say, in my laptop.
Yeah.
Now, can you teach me how to troubleshoot my laptop?
Well, you can help me. Basically, you could suggest, see, these are certain steps you could try.
That
You
is
know,
making me aware of how to troubleshoot. Can you teach me how to troubleshoot? You're just giving me scenarios that you can try one, two, three, four, right?
correct.
It's like, can you teach me how to can you learn driving from YouTube?
It's like more like, even these days some people are. I don't know if you've heard, like here in Saudi Arabia now, since women started driving, so they are basically even getting the license while practicing on the simulator machines, which is
Yes,
not even like a not even a closed track or anything. It's just like a virtual
right.
like
I
a
know.
video game.
That happens in China before they can get into the actual driving tests. They
Yeah.
will first want to make sure that you are able to drive on a simulated.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
but
but
if I show you YouTube, can you learn how to drive?
uh, honestly, for us as well, because driving comes naturally to us, and I'm not sure if how much
So,
to
it,
relate. But
so
yes,
you're saying so you're saying that driving came to you naturally.
yes, yes. Honestly, it's like, and the other thing, I mean, just to
Okay. My next question
uh,
is, my
yeah,
next question to you is, did you learn driving on a manual car or an automatic?
on a manual car.
Okay.
Yeah,
So naturally, you came to know the balance between the clutch and the accelerator.
correct. For me, it wasn't the problem. The more of the problem was because the olden days, we didn't used to have the power steering, and I would struggle with the power steering, completely going to the right or to the
So,
left. To
so the first time you drove the car, Bashrat, there was no jerk that came in the pickup.
yes, yes, I was smooth with all those things. The thing I
Okay.
struggled was the car was going either right or to the left. So.
And how did you learn that to, to
I
control it from going left or right?
uh, Well, I'm like, I kept repeating. I basically, when I was a kid, I was in sixth grade. So I used to silently, when we used to go for Friday prayers, I used to go before everyone else to get the car out of the parking and bring it in front of the door. So uh, At that time, it's most the
Oh,
streets are empty
so
and
actually, you did a practical thing, right?
correct. Yes, I kept doing a
That,
practice.
that is what I wanted to ask you. Can you teach me how to troubleshoot?
So it has to be practical. Okay, I got your point.
Okay. I cannot teach you how to troubleshoot. Okay. As you're saying, I can just make you aware. I will ask
Right,
you questions. Okay. What is the issue you're facing? Did it work before? Okay. You're going to come and troubleshoot. You're going to do some pings and trace route. You're going to try and eliminate the basic stuff, right?
right, right.
You're going to apply the logic and say, maybe this could be a problem. Let me see if that is a problem or not. Or is it just this user who's facing the problem issue, or is everybody else, right?
Correct. Yes.
I cannot teach you how to troubleshoot. I can just tell you common stuff that you can do and the
Hmm.
tools that you can use.
Okay.
Till today,
Hmm.
even though I've been working since 1999, or I started working since 1999, even till today, I am learning how to troubleshoot.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Okay. So
This
I
is
cannot teach anybody how to troubleshoot. I can just apply the logic, and the best way to learn is when you're on the job.
okay.
Okay. No one can teach you how to fix a car.
Hmm.
Okay. No one can tell you, okay, your car, you're gonna ask people why is my car jerking, right? It could be
Right.
a lot of things, spark plugs issue, the car is not serviced or something, right? So they'll also give you all those logics.
Hmm.
So we're gonna look at the log issues. This is where digitally you look at the logs, right? You're gonna
Okay.
access the environment with the simple network management protocol SNMP, where I am going to now configure the SNMP and the Syslog server, right?
Hmm.
So that I don't want my administrator to log on to the Syslog server, to the ADC and look at the Syslog. I don't want my administrator to always log on to the ADC. No, the Syslogs will be on the external server, and you go and look for the Syslog from there, right?
Okay.
Okay. And troubleshooting tools that you could be using. So we're going to be mapping all your end user experience for e-commerce sales, improve data load balancing across the data center, web application performance, and identify application response time exceeding a service level agreement SLA. You might see that sometimes you say my internet is very slow. Do a ping to Google. If you're getting 3,000, 4,000 milliseconds, then you know there's a problem with your PC,
Right.
right? So the ADC, you can use the syslog, which is the standard locking. Okay. All right. And the NS log, which is the proprietary of the Citrix, that is the logging format, records every detail of the event. Okay, information. Then the syslog, and syslog and NSlog events can be logged to either a local file or to a remote server. That means I can put it onto an external server, right?
Okay.
So this is where all your syslogs are, where log ns.log, and every 100 KB it will be rollover. Only last 26 files will be retained. This is the syslog. So you can use external log servers to retain more files. Okay. Or if you want to look at a new NS log, every 300 MB or 48 hours, there will be a rollover. Only last 100 files will be retained. All
Okay.
right.
Right.
Okay. So that is the NS log and the syslog. And you can just go into the diagnostics. Please use the GUI. Okay. You
Hmm.
can go into the diagnostics and check on your log messages. This is now, I don't want my administrator to go into the NetScaler every time, right? Just to look at this.
Right.
I try and avoid my administrators logging onto the ADC unnecessarily. Okay.
Hmm.
Secondly, you can create a custom syslog message. You can see the syslog. You can configure auditing syslog parameters. Okay, you can give the syslog servers. You can give the IP, the port number, and what log levels you would want to see on your syslog, right?
Okay.
I will be configuring this log server for you also, and you will see I'm using a Kiwi server, and after that I will give you the labs, the two labs to do, right? I can even do a DNS logging, but that is done on our Active Directory. So there is a log support for the using the syslog protocol to get DNS header. This is mainly done by the network security team.
Okay.
Okay, because you want to use the syslog DNS syslog because you want to log the DNS requests and responses, right? So the appliance will log the DNS requests and responses in syslog format, and you can choose the log to either for the DNS request or DNS response or even both. And then you can send that syslog message to your remote or your external server, right? And I will also use the GSLB, okay, which is based on the DNS load balancing. So as I said, your NetScaler, you will have different remote sites and all of them will be connected to each other if you want, right?
Okay.
So if you're here, you get connected to this nearest data center. And if you move further, somewhere in between, maybe either you get connected to this NetScaler or to that NetScaler, depending on which is the one closest to you, right?
Okay.
And if one of them goes down, other three will serve the connections for you. So your data center will not go down. Even this data center will communicate, will still work because these NetScalers are going to give you the services from this data center that is down, right?
Okay.
So we got the NS log. You can go to the system diagnostics and manage the logs, and you can see events, log duration, specific time, view console message. You can cut the logs, but we normally don't do this. We do not trim the logs.
Mhm.
Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Now you can check the events, the log file duration, events from your specific time, console messages, and trim the log. These are the ADC log management that you have. This is the diagnostic pen allowing you to look what's happening on your ADC.
Okay.
And as I said, you can have an external server, your external syslog server, or your SIM solution, right? Where you can forward all the logs to your syslog server, and you can retain the syslog server for a longer period of time. And I don't need to now, because I'm going to have a backend server and all the logs are going from the ADC to the syslog. So my administrators will always log on to this. They don't need to log on to the ADC every time.
Okay.
Okay. So these are your audit policies that we can configure with your servers. That is your external servers, and then the policies for this server. As you can see, I have a syslog server, right? I have added the syslog, and all the syslogs will be going to that server, right, sir?
Right.
And then you can use an inbuilt network trace, and you can then open that for run the trace and open the pcap file and open that in the Wireshark, right? So it is basically dumping the packets in the ADC format, which is the pcap, okay, or cap file, and is basically doing the dump so that you can see more low level troubleshooting. All right, and your network security team guys can go into inside the packet and see whether that packet is meant for your organization or not. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
Nothing. Mhm.
Nothing, right? Okay. So I can run this trace from the NetScaler, and then I will switch on or I will browse the websites, right?
Okay.
Okay. And by doing so, I will be able to see what's happening on my network. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No.
Just give me one sec. I'm just trying to adjust this sometimes. Okay. So all these files are stored in your Where NS trace, or you can download it in your download folder, right? And share it with your network security team. So you can even define the packet size, the time, and the filters that you want. All right.
All right.
So you can, the minimum value should be 1, and the maximum can go up to 3600. That is the time. Okay. The size, the default value for the size is 164, and the maximum is 1514. All right. This is the size. Yeah. And once you got the pickup file, you can open it right here in the Wireshark, and then you can go into the package. So this is more of the network security team's job. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
And then you can also have the SNMP traffic sent to your external log server, where you are going to, this is your simple network management protocol, which is your internet based standard protocol for collecting and organizing information about your managed devices, right? So in this, the ADC is actually working like an SNMP agent that is going to respond to queries from the SNMP management system, which is going to be your external server, right?
Okay.
So this is the agent, SNMP agent, and this is the server. Okay.
Okay.
So it is going to trap, and it can do a general trap and specific trap. So it can have 20 trap destinations, all right? And SNMP traps can be changed to being sourced from the specific SNIP. So you can use a specific SNIP to trap SNMPs, right?
Okay.
And you can set the alarms in terms of the thresholds, security levels, right? The threshold values, the time, duration, and you can log it. So you can say, okay, if the memory is exceeding 80%, you give me a warning, right?
Mhm.
So you can add those things here, right, sir?
Yeah.
Even for the CPU. And this is the best one, the dashboard. You can use this dashboard and see this is your system log in real time. You can see the packet CPU usage, management CPU usage, in use memory. You can change this CPU versus memory usage HTTP. You can change all the options from here, including you can change this option from client side versus server side connections. You can go under reporting. When you go under reporting, you can go ahead and change all these features, DNS, okay, DNS records, policy labels, compression, all these options are there, and you can look what's happening. Okay, are
Okay.
we good, sir? This is your get versus post. This is your established client versus server connections.
Okay.
And then these are your CLI commands that you can use. And this is the reporting. So you can go with the systems, CPU memory versus usage, HTTP, HA, cluster, SSL, network, a lot of options are there, right?
Mhm.
So this is where you can see what's happening on your network as well. And when you go to the configuration, you can check on the network visualizer. You will see which interfaces are connected, which IPs are working, and which is down, right? And which interface is also down.
Okay.
You can see it from here. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
And lastly, troubleshooting. How would you troubleshoot, sir, if the user is not able to log in?
Uh, if it's not logging, I think we'll need to try connecting by the. You mean on the ADC or where? Not logging.
Yeah, from the ADC.
I mean, if the user, if the admin is not able to log into the ADC itself, you mean, or
No, the user. I'm saying the user because even the users are authenticating from there.
okay? You probably will go and check the user account if it's enabled or got disabled or logged out, or
Okay,
uh,
and
secondly, if there is some issue with the, I don't know if it is integrated with LDAP or any other uh, identity provider. Maybe that could be an issue there, or
could be. So the first thing you find out, you're gonna go into your triple AD.debug logs. You're gonna go into your authentication log, right?
hmm.
So there are certain tools that you will use. You will probably use these support tools, right? You'll use the logs. You're gonna look, see if the server is allowing you to log in or not, right?
Correct.
So you're gonna see the certificate. Sometimes your certificates have expired.
Hmm.
All right. Maybe you're gonna see if maybe the ADC is not able to communicate with the ADC Active Directory.
Okay.
Maybe there's a latency. So all those things you have to manage, right?
Right.
Maybe you need to clear the cache. Maybe it's only that user who's facing the problem, not everybody.
Right.
Because you cannot blame a network or your ADC because of one user.
Hmm.
Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
Right. So collect all the files and the data from the ADC. Right.
Hmm.
Check on the performance, check on the system logs, check on every other information that you can pull out,
Okay.
right? Including the logs from your servers, including the logs from the ADC, including the log from the user's computer. So first find out if it is only that user who's able to who's facing the problem, or everyone is also facing a problem, or others rather facing a problem, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna show you this lab where I'm going to view the logs and the network traces. I'm going to configure external syslog and audit policies and configure the SNMP, right?
Right.
And then I will give you that labs on both your, I will give you the labs for on your both the module 7, which is your partitions, right?
Right.
And the troubleshooting. So just give me 2 minutes, right? Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, Control Alt Delete. So I'm going to show you the logs, right?
Okay.
I'm going to log in into the ADC. It's not coming there because sometimes I get this message. All right, so I'm gonna log in and ns root, and all I'm gonna go to is system, and then in the system you will see auditing, right? And you will see here recent audit message, syslog message, right? Are
Okay.
you there, sir?
Yes.
If it's a custom, you want to see emergency only, warning, alert, notice, critical information, error or debug, or you can just go and select all and you can run this. So this is your CLI that you'll see that, okay, this user, you created a monitor service, if you remember, right?
Okay.
Okay, we did, you went and show sessions status success, right? You went and see show ns config. Maybe this is just like what you have been doing on the ADC, right?
Okay.
So this is your log message that you'll always get. And this is why we try and avoid the administrator to log on uh, to the ADC every now and then, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want the we do not want our uh, admins to log on to the ADC every now and then because that's not the best practice.
Okay.
Okay, and this one where you can go and click on the syslog message. Syslog message is all about your system message, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can go and check on this is all your modules. So you'll see module, which is your CLI, event type, CMD executed, event ID, 151, message, user root ADM, right? So these are your event. You can be going and reading all your log message that somebody from this 192.168.102, which is our second NetScaler, all right, they went and executed the CLI, ADM user non-remote. Remember, I just went and executed that audit message, right?
Okay.
So, and you can go and filter it by the modules also, right? So you can go and select things like your AAA if you have if you have an authentication problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can go and select any of your and you can say event type, you can say extracted groups, messages, and Also, you can see login failed. You can say information alert critical, right? So, and you can say if there is anything, it will show you right here.
Okay.
Okay. You can go and change to GUI, CLI, CMD executed, and you can go and see if you see I have executed the CLI. So you will see there. Sometimes you get this invalid username password, right?
Okay.
So this is where you go and see the syslog. And if you want to go and see the NS log, all you do is go to System Diagnostics, right?
Mhm.
And under Manage Logs, you will be able to see here. You can see View Events. This is the where NS log and new NS log, right? You can say Run, and this is where it will show you everything about the NS log. All right, servers, service group, maybe there's a communication that has happened, right? There's a monitoring service binding that we did on the LDAP, right?
Okay.
So it will tell you whatever you have been doing on the NetScaler, right? So you have created the service group, right? So that will tell you everything what has been happening on the NetScaler, right?
Right.
And you can just go and see log file duration so you can run. It will tell you version 20, V20 performance data, when it started, the duration, right? And what's the bytes that is got, that
Okay.
it has received. Okay. So you can even go and check the console messages. All right. This is the message that you get on the dashboard, right?
Mhm.
So these are all successfully created name server, right? So there are certain things that we have done. We have created partition and all, right?
Yes.
So everything is logged in here. So that is your, you just have to troubleshoot from here, right? You can troubleshoot your memory usage. If you know the file, you can go and select the file. Let's say ns.log. I'm just showing you this, okay? If there is anything, it will show you. There you go. It's gonna log in and displaying debug performance information, but there's nothing there, right? It's just telling me there's only one. So these are the things that you can do from the tool that are inbuilt with your ADC, right? Are we good, sir?
Yes.
You can go with your file duration. You can choose a file. You can go and choose a separate, a dedicated file. Okay, you can go and choose new NSLog. If you see any other NSLog files, you can choose any one of these files. For example, I'll just choose this one, 38tar.gz. So, and then you can run, and you'll see everything, start and end. So it will tell you when this was created, what time it started, total duration, right, and the size. So this is what you can do with the inbuilt tool of the NetScaler, right? I can also do a trace. Okay, I can go ahead and do a trace. That's gonna be where I can just say start a new trace. Okay, which is under our technical support here. This is your pcap file that you can use with your for Wireshark. So I'll just start a new trace. This is the file that the packet size is gonna start from 164. The moment I put 0, I want it to capture the full packet. And I'll say capture the trace in pcap format, right? And if you scroll down, you can say trace filter connection PS traffic. Then this is under the expressions, right, sir?
Okay.
Okay. And I can then just start the trace, and everything else I'll leave it as default. And here I will just say I am looking for a connection, all right, with the IP, which is going to be equal to, right, and I'll specify the IP, which should be 172.21.10.254, for example, right? Okay, and I also need connection.ip, right,
Yeah.
which should equal to 172.21.10.101. So I need the IP from these two, right, sir?
Okay.
And I'll say start. And all I'm going to do is I am going to go and open up the browser. And I will browse to http 172.21.10.101 home.php. Just okay, it's not accepting that. 172.21.10.101 home.php, right? So I will just browse it a couple of times, and I will go and browse one http 172.21.10.105, and it is going to record everything. All I'm going to do is just go here. It didn't start. Okay, hold on, I'll start it again. Oh, for some reason it's not starting. Error invalid expressions. Okay, no problem. I will go and change that. I will say packet buffer transmission traffic filtered, and all I'm gonna do is this connections invalid filter. Okay, specify 172.21.10.254 and say and connection.ip, okay, dot equals, and I will say 172.21.10.101. This should be fine now. Let's see. Invalid filter again. Okay, this one, I will capture that. Let's see now. Why am I getting an invalid? Connection.ip equals to and connection 101 connection.ip.equals 172.21.10. This one, okay, 254. Okay, now it started. So I'll go and browse this again. also this again and again, and also this, right? And I will just stop it. So you see that pkf file is created. All I'm going to do is just download it. And that's already downloaded. So I will open this in Wireshark. This is already a Wireshark one. So if you open that up, can you see something here?
Get PHP.
31.10.254, 10.1.1, HTTP get home.php, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're looking for. This is your TCP connection. So if you open this up, this will tell you just have to forward this to your network security team, and they will see whether this packet is meant for your organization or not.
Okay.
Okay, this is all the HTTP connections that they will see. So this is why if your application is misbehaving, they'll ask you to send a trace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once you send this PCAP file, they will open in Wireshark and they will be able to tell you, okay, you have a problem in the connection or the upgrade. This is insecure and you're using some form and we are expecting some more other information from here. This is all encrypted, right? So they will decrypt it for you and tell you where the problem is. This is reading the packets. Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
Now all I'm going to do is configure a syslog server, which is already here. I'm using a KeyV, right? Okay, you could be using some external syslog server.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to open the KeyV syslog daemon and I need to change certain things. I'll go into the file and I will go into the setup. Inside the setup, inside the inputs, I will go with the UDP. This is going to be port 514 and you're going to listen, it's going to listen to port 514, right? Okay. I'll just say apply and okay. Now watch here. I'm going to go into my ADC. All right. And I'm going to configure a syslog. So I will go under system auditing syslog, right?
Okay.
I'm going to add that server. You can give me a name. Okay, you can say external underscore kiwi. All right, and the IP address of my server 192.168.10.254. Okay, and what do you want? This is the port 514. I will leave the lock on local 0. All right, and I'm going to go with custom because maybe I want everything else other than the debug, right?
Okay.
Okay, and I will just go and create it. Now I'm going to go and create the policy. Add the policy. I'll say uh, external underscore kiwi underscore policy. All right. And you see it's gonna be syslog, and it's already selected my server that I've just added, right? Okay, and I will just go and create it, and then I will just say save, and you will see your message coming up here. Okay, it's not coming up. I need to bind it. So I'm gonna go select this and I will go and say classic global binding. Select the policy. Save it And here is your log messages. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. So this is your log messages. Now I'm going to clear because I am now going to configure SNMP the same way I have configured Syslog server, right?
Okay.
So I'll just go to File. I will clear the display. I'll go to Files, Setup, and this time I'm gonna go with SNMP right here, right? And I'm going to enable and listen to port 162, right, sir? These ports are very important, right?
Okay.
And another thing that's important in the ADC is the community string. So I've cleared those views, log in and go to the system. Under the system, you will see SNMP, right? So first thing you're going to create is the community. So we're going to add a community string. You can give it a name. I will just say CTX train SNMP, right? I'll give the permission to all instead of just saying get or get bulk or get next set. I'll say get everything for me, right? And I'll create. And then I'm going to create the manager. So if you don't specify managers, then the ADC will go to every manager and get the SNMP. Okay, so I'll go to the managers. You have to add your managers where you want to get the SNMP from. All right. If you don't specify them, it will go to all of them. So I'm going to select management network and I will say 192.168.10.254. This is where you want to get the SNMP for, right? And this is going to be broadcast. SNMPs are always broadcast, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to create. Next, I'm going to go and add the traps. What traps do you want to add? So I'm going to go and add a trap. First, I'm going to add generic and then specific. So I'm going to add version 2, which is the generic type. And inside the IP address, that's our destination. It will go to my SNMP server, right? If you want the source IP, you can specify. Otherwise, you can leave it blank. This you can select a particular SNMP. This is your subnet IP, right?
Okay.
So I will just leave all that. And inside the community name, it is the community string that you just created. CTX train SNMP. It has to be same as what you created under the community string, right? And I will say add. Now I'm going to add specific one. So I'm going to add a specific one. I've already added generic. So I'm going to add a specific version 2 and the same IP address 192.168.10.254. All right. And community string CTX train SNMP. And I'm going to create. Now I need to create alarms. What I should get. So I'm gonna go under SNMP alarms, and you see some alarms. So it's gonna ask you to change to page or 25 numbers to per page. Okay, 25 per page. That's already set. So I need to set some config save. So just go to C. That should be on page number 3. You will see config save here enabled, and then you edit it. Make sure you define the severity, right? Okay, if there is, otherwise you can just make sure that logging and state is enabled. If you want severity, you can go with critical or whatever you want, right?
Okay.
So this is your SNMP alarms that you can still go and you can change the numbers that you want, right, sir? This is to generate the traps.
Okay.
Okay. Or you can go with if you see any alarm or anything, go ahead and change whatever you want to change from your uh, this generic trap. So I am gonna go and select certain things. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is I have an alarm, right? And I can select config save as I was selecting before, which is on page number 3. I'll go with that one. Okay, config save and just edit it and make sure, as I said, logging and state is enabled, right? And I'll uncheck that. And there's another one that I want to see is the CPU usage. So same thing you can go and do. Under this, you can edit. Now you can give me a threshold, right?
Okay.
I will give you 85% as a threshold, right? Which is the alarm, and the normal, you will say 80%. So, for example, in your organization, you will send up to 70% is normal, and 85, once it comes to 85, when the CPU reaches 85%, it should give you a warning, right?
Okay.
And severity, I will say as major, or you could be selecting, and all these are enabled. Logging and state is enabled, right?
Right.
That is your threshold, and now you can just go and see, and you can just say okay here or save it, and you will be able to see your messages right here. So trap is sent, right? You have logged in. This is your command that you have executed, right, sir? And this is the uptime, right? So these are all the information of your SNMP. Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
So if you want, there is a challenge for you on exercise 8-4, which is your scenarios. If you see here, these are your scenarios, right? Okay.
Mhm.
This is one that you're going to start troubleshooting. Okay. Connect to your ADC. I want you to read through that. Okay. ADC and do set HA node, HA status stay secondary, save NSconfig. This is what you're going to be doing, right?
Mhm.
Scenario 2, the environment presents the following issue and you have been tasked to identify cause and fix the issue. Try to identify the issue before proceeding to resolve to the resolution, right? So issue 1, connection to the ADC is failing for GUI and SSH. Okay, so these are some of your scenarios that you can test. Okay, so I'm going to log out and I'm going to give you the lab for the partition one, right?
Okay.
Where you added, where I integrated LDAP and I created partitions, right?
Right.
Do you want to read the lab guide first before I give it to you?
That would be the seventh one, right? Or
Yes,
yeah, I'll go through it and let you know.
sure.
Okay, so we can start.
You said you're ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you the control. So I'll mute myself. You have the control, okay?
Okay. I'll begin with the seventh one, right? This is the
Yes, where you're going to integrate Active Directory, and then you're going to create partitions, and you're going to create partition administrators, right? Okay.
yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Hello.
Hi, Bashar.
Yes, sir. I'm getting calls from work. Too many issues going on. Plus, I am feeling all day I've been having too many issues today. So I'm feeling yeah, very tired. I cannot concentrate on the labs. So if it's okay with you, shall we proceed with the whatever is left for the theory class or anything?
Okay, so you want to postpone the lab, so I will end it.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to take a 10 minutes break?
No, so the lab I'm not able to concentrate because all day I've been having too many issues, and then even now I'm getting calls.
Okay,
So
because I had the labs for you to do today. So, okay, let's see what we can do for today. And because I actually wanted you to have a fresh mind
mhm.
for unified gateway and authentication.
Okay.
So that's why I had the two labs for you.
So unified gateway would be like the next 2 to 5 or 2 to 4. What is it? The other part that will be beginning.
2 to 6. See, I've got 6 modules left for you for now, right?
Okay.
So are you saying that tomorrow you will do all the 3 labs?
I'll take a look at them, sir, when I find the time. I'll go through the document. Uh, if I find, you know,
Because you see, Bashar, that theory is one thing. You need to do lab also.
true, true. Uh, but this part, sir, I mean, like, I don't think we'll be, utilizing that much of partitioning and
Okay. So are you comfortable? Are you not tired to know the gateway?
uh, what
Because
I'm feeling is, it's I'm finding it difficult to do the steps, the lab on my own. So it's kind of I'm feeling frustrating. That's why I feel like I can sit, I can continue with the class, but the lab part, I'm feeling very stressed out.
why are you feeling stressed out? People feel stressed out on the theory part. You're feeling stressed out on the lab part.
Uh, the control is irritating. I find it sorry irritating, and referring back and forth between the manual and going back to the this is.
Yeah, that's why I said you don't have a two screens.
I have two screens, but even I have to keep scrolling, and then the text is. I'm feeling maybe I don't know if this is with any concentration issue or something.
Yeah, I
So
think it's just a concentration issue that you're having.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So, but what if tomorrow? Because the thing is, I don't
Mhm.
want a time where we are finishing before time.
Okay.
Because this 10 days is designed to do theory and labs.
All right.
So just take 10 minutes break and then we'll start. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Bashat, are you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I have for you is this unified gateway. Okay.
Okay.
And so that means whenever you get time tomorrow, also you'll have 3 labs to do
Okay.
or 4 labs. You decide which one you want to do, but I actually wanted to do the gateway and the authentication and the troubleshooting one. So if you don't want to do partition one, that's fine. But at
Hmm.
least gateway, troubleshooting, gateway, and authentication, I want you to do.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you can do now. Let's see. All right. So you will need the gateway to support your remote access, right?
Uh huh.
And the gateway can be now a physical appliance, virtual appliance, or a feature in the ADC itself, right?
Okay.
Okay, and this is the role. This is basically a role when you're using the application delivery. So there are certain things you need to do with the Citrix gateway configuration. One, you're gonna give me the URL defined in the DNS, right?
Uh huh.
Okay. So these are some of your remote access challenges. So you need to give me a URL that you're gonna have defined in the DNS. It should be having a public access, right?
Okay.
Same URL you're gonna use in your storefront. So before you need to think of all the securities connecting to different devices, right? In different locations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people started coming with proxy servers. Some organizations are using jump servers, right? You need to now you need to think of security. People are trying to access your network from outside, so you have to think of all those kind of security, right, sir?
Okay.
So now when you ask me security, how can I ask you how secure is your network? What level of security do you think is good for your network?
In what terms, like?
You're staying in a house, right?
Yeah.
How how have you secured your house?
With a door, with a lock.
And you think that's enough?
Uh, but it depends, I guess. So,
Yeah.
I mean, compared to back home in India, so here, you think that's pretty much, I guess it has to do with your gut feeling or how secure you feel. So, but yeah, I mean,
You see, that's why I'm asking. How secure do you think is enough? How much security is enough, right?
yes, yeah.
So that is what I was asking. How much security is enough? That's it,
Hmm.
right, sir?
Yeah,
And there's no certain answer to that.
correct.
Okay, for you, you might think whatever is secure for you, I might say it's not secure for me.
Okay.
Okay, it's not enough for me, right?
Hmm.
I can say that, right, sir?
Yes,
So that kind of security for you, it's good enough. For me, it's not good enough.
right.
It is as simple as that, right, sir?
True.
So you need to now think of how much is enough for you, and what resources you think are not necessary to protect, right?
Correct.
And what you need to protect. And if you're gonna give me a remote access, okay, is it good enough for your premises? Is your premises ready with the performance, right? And how much will it cost to build a remote access solution or a security solution, and how much you need to spend on the training, and how much you're gonna need to maintain it, right?
Hmm.
Providing access is one part. Am I right,
Yeah,
sir?
correct.
Providing access is just one part, but the other one is for you to see whether you require it or not.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who is going to support? And you also now need to think whoever you have dedicated the work to, who's going to be taking care of it in your absence,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Who's going to take care of it in your absence? All that has to be answered by you as well, or the company rather, not you, but the company,
Okay.
right?
Correct.
So now you tell me, what level of security do you guys have in your organization?
So I believe they are. We have like VPN users connecting through VPN and
Mm-hmm.
uh, developers connecting through VDIs. Uh, the similar thing like Zen server or uh, I'm not sure what you call this. So the Citrix presentation, the Zen server for I mean an alternate way for users to be able to access the services easily.
Okay, so that is what you're gonna do, right, sir? You're gonna
Mm.
think of all the security and what can be done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next. What are your remote access challenge? What did challenge did you face?
Uh,
What challenge did you face in your remote access? I'm sure you faced something, right? Since there was a
not
lockdown, what
like
challenge did you face during the lockdown? Because everything was remote. We all were working remotely.
yeah, but luckily, we had moved to Teams before Corona, and so it was a surprise, even though the lockdown came in without any warning. But somehow we were able to, continue working, and it was a different experience. That's when we realized that we made a good decision in time,
Mhm.
and then yeah, right
When
from
you,
day one we were doing all our activities.
I was in Saudi and I caught the last flight out.
Oh, you were lucky. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was doing an implementation for your security forces hospital.
okay, okay. So good that you left in the right time. I mean, for us, it's a big. It was a mixed reaction, to be honest. Like, at one hand, everyone was freaking out because in India, it's a normal thing we've been seeing from childhood. The curfew, the lockdown, these kind of things.
Yeah,
But
true. We have seen that was normal. But that was not normal. This was because it was all infectious
correct.
diseases, right?
Yes, yes.
So now, when you went on to the remote, even before Corona, what challenge? I'm sure you faced some challenges.
Yeah, I mean, see, we had the solution, but we were not using it on that full-fledged scale, because we
Right.
still had the option that we could drive back to office anytime or just go visit anytime, or so we were, or some people are there at the office, so if there's something I cannot do, I would simply call up my colleagues and say, see, I cannot log into my machine or do something, or look
So
for this something.
yeah, you had that kind of challenge where you
Yes,
had to call a colleague and say, "I'm not able to log in and check the machine," right?
correct.
But maybe that colleague was busy and he says, "Okay, I can only check it after half an hour or 1 hour."
Right.
So they were those kind of challenges. Then they were this kind of challenges. What if your connection goes down? What you gonna do? What if there's a security man in the middle? What you gonna do, right? And maybe also you're using some old machines, right?
Right.
And now because you're using old machines, then they're probably not going to be supporting this infrastructure. Maybe you need RDP licenses, right?
Correct.
So all these kind of challenges are there in the remote access, right?
Right.
So this is where now I'm going to, how do you have it? Now I can put my gateway in the DMZ,
Hmm.
okay? Basically the ADC, and behind that I can put all my infrastructure.
Correct.
And I can put the gateway also in the secure network where I just have one firewall, right?
Okay.
This is a secure network and this is a DMZ. So even then I can have double hops of the firewall, right? So
Right.
everyone is going to get connected via the gateway and before they can access any kind of resources internally, right?
Hmm.
Okay. So you now need to think, do you want to secure the network or do you want to put the gateway in the DMZ, right?
Right.
So whenever you're deploying the gateway in the DMZ, all your user connections are traversing from the first firewall, right? The user
Yes.
connection is going from the first firewall, right, sir?
Hmm.
And from the first firewall, that is when it is hitting the gateway, right?
Right.
All right. And now your servers are running in a secure network. Then you got it, the gateway has to hit this second firewall, and from the second firewall, it will go to your backend server.
Hmm.
Now, if you got a secure network, you only have one firewall, right?
Right.
And it makes the deployment a bit less secure as compared to the DMZ because now if you're going to be accessing from the remote location, now I will think, what if somebody breaches this? Then what is going to happen? Then everyone is going directly to my infra, right?
Okay. Yes.
This is why what you need to think when you're going to be accessing. You might have full VPN, okay, but if you only have one firewall, then even that full VPN will not do the job.
Correct.
A man in the middle is more clever than us, okay. So
Hmm.
that is why we put this in the DMZ, right?
Okay.
And we were doing the partition so that you can segregate or isolate the traffic of your internal and external and DMZ.
Okay.
That is why we create the partitions, or you can have a multiple net ADCs. As I said, when you do the partition, there's no gateway and there's no WAF, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now let's look at your unified gateway. So it is quite easy to deploy and very easy to administer as well. Okay. So most of the deployment that people do or the administrator do is using the secure network, right?
Okay.
But the best practice is to deploy it in the DMZ. All right. As I said, this gateway can be your physical appliance, can be virtual appliance, but this is also a feature on the ADC because of the license. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take all your remote access infrastructure and pass it through the gateway, where it will give you a single sign-on across all your applications, right? Whether you're using it in the data center, whether in the cloud, or whether you're gonna deliver SaaS, right? Are we good?
Yeah.
And if you want, you can go ahead and install multiple gateways appliances in the network if you want to make it more secure and more complex.
Okay.
So whenever you have done your basic configuration of the network, then you can go and configure the gateway operations. So you can use the gateway feature for your authentication, for the authorization, for network resources, right? Your virtual servers, your session policies, and your endpoint policies. So this is what you can use the gateway for. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Tell me, you had your dinner?
Uh, I I had a snack before even starting the training.
Okay,
So
after this, if you want to have dinner, I can give you some time.
okay. Um, do you want to take a break, sir? It's like,
No,
or
no, let's finish this first.
yes, sure. No, not at
Okay, so the unified gateway basically gives you one URL.
all. Okay.
Now, do you see why I asked you the question, why do you have ADFS?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can do a single sign-on from here. I can do multi-factor authentication from here also.
Okay.
This was my reason that I asked you, how come you have ADFS and you say it's for single sign-on? And I said, why do you need ADFS for single sign-on?
Okay.
Right?
Uh, I mean, would this? I haven't worked with this, so I don't know. Like, would this uh, support internal applications and everything? Because I think one of the other thing also, I'm not sure. It looks like general trend that people follow. So a lot of applications that we have, and the vendors provide documentation for the by default uh,
Right.
soft solutions to be integrated with. It's
Mhm.
difficult to find something for Citrix or specifically.
Very easy to find. It's just that you are not used to the Citrix.
Okay.
It is quite easy to find actually.
Mhm.
So I mean, with the support I can understand, but finding things and resources is quite easy with Citrix as well.
Mhm.
Right. So all you need to do is just go to the forums and you look at the blogs and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right. It's just that you need to get into Citrix. You need to get the console and get into Citrix.
Okay. Now, I'm speaking based on my experience with the vendors or the teams. Uh,
Mhm.
every time there was some implementation or some issue going on, they would come up with just one or two blogs that they could find relevant to the implementation, and even that wouldn't be very straightforward or very lengthy, and then we keep going through it, and it doesn't make sense. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to get into Citrix to understand it.
Okay.
Okay. So you can use it for your intranet applications. You can use it for your clientless application. You can use it for SaaS. We have some pre-configured applications served by the ADC. You can publish the workspace app, all right, from the Citrix gateway, right?
Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, you can even use it on your Android and iOS, including your Linux PC or Mac system with Citrix gateway. So there is a plugin. There is an endpoint analysis (EPA), right? And
Okay.
if you don't meet that requirement, then we have a problem. It will not let you in the network. That also we're gonna do something with the EPAs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is one URL to any application, right? So this one URL you have to define it in the DNS, okay, and you have to provide the link to it and uh, make it to have routing, and it should be able to do NS lookup, right?
Okay.
Reverse lookup as well. So it should be addressable actually, right, sir? So you log in once, and that's your single sign-on to any of your applications. Okay,
All right.
are we good?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a one URL, you have multiple URLs then, and that will become a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So multiple URLs, which can cause end user experience limited and negative impact. Okay, this was a good option 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is called complicated and hard to manage.
Okay.
All right, because of multiple islands, you now need to see whether this is working. Then you need to see whether this is working, because they are all interlinked.
Okay.
So any misconfiguration and of your security and access policy, then yes, you're gonna have a problem. And every time we had to re-authenticate to all the applications,
Okay.
right? And this is your gateway. One, it will give you the remote access. Two, single sign-on. It will give you. You can do a EPA scan. You can. That is your endpoint analysis, right?
Okay.
You can segregate. You can use uh, with a gateway. You can also integrate other products,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can use session policies. So one URL that is going to give you all the access to your infrastructure,
Okay.
right? So because the ADC is doing content switching, that is how the concept of one URL is achieved, right?
Okay.
Right, sir? Are we good?
Yeah.
And then these are the benefits because of your gateway experience. It is supporting your Linux, Android, iOS. It is very much customizable portal, and it can give me a single sign-on. Just give me 1 minute, please.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
So, and because you're using remote access, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will get a full SSL VPN for your iOS and Android.
Okay.
And you will get a per app VPN. That means if you're using app A, it will create its own individual VPN tunnel to the ADC. If you're using app B will create its own VPN tunnel to the ADC. So this is what we mean by per app tunnel for iOS.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah.
And the gateway, I can do ICA proxy, SSL VPN, SAS gateway. So one URL will provide me all that. With the content switching, will allow all the one URL for all your application, and you can choose any device type from the location. That is the benefit of your gateway. Are we good?
Yeah.
Question?
No.
And this is the whole architecture where you're going to get connected from any device. Okay. Then you have a content switching server. Remember, I've been talking about the content switching server. It will look for the request in the header, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it will send it to the gateway, all that request, and it will do a reverse proxy as well. So the ADC gateway will do reverse proxy and forward proxy. So we have the content switching server in front of the gateway server, virtual server, right?
Okay.
And this is your public facing. Are we good?
Yes.
So it will give us when you go with the universal license, the universal license will give us a full VPN tunnel. It will give us a micro VPN. All right. It will give us endpoint analysis. You can have a policy based smart access. It will give you client access to the website and file shares. That is your universal license. And platform license, that means it is going to give you unlimited number of connections to your Citrix virtual apps and desktop. Okay, by using your ICA, it will allow your VPN connections to the network from the gateway plugin or smart access. So that is what we use the gateway for, right? And these are the gateway. This is if you buy the physical appliance, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Physical, sorry, this one is if you have a physical box, right, of the gateway or a separate appliance for the gateway, and this is the feature. So if you want the feature, you need either a premium or platinum editions of the license. If you're using the feature, like how are you going to use the feature inside our VPX, right?
Yeah.
So you need a higher license.
Okay.
But if you have a physical box or a separate appliance, just a gateway appliance, then you need either one of these license. Okay.
All right.
And this is so one URL, one IP, login once, right? The user is going to access multiple services using single IP and or URL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have this. So there is no difference between having a authentication, authorization, and auditing terminal virtual server. Okay, because I can just have a content switching and a gateway. So when I reach the content switching, it hits my virtual server. Virtual server hits the load balancing, and then it goes to the backend server. And for that, if I want to go to the cloud based, I can use SAML for single point of authentication. So I can even use my gateway and use SAML while I'm accessing the cloud applications and also while I'm accessing the internal applications, right? Are we good, sir?
Yes.
So here my ADC can behave like a identity provider and and a resource provider,
Okay.
and it can be IDIPS device.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the content switching gateway, which is a feature that is required because that is the one that is going to receive the traffic and direct it internally to the appropriate virtual server, right? And this content switching server is the primary component of the gateway. The gateway requires the content switching virtual server, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is the one that is going to manage content switching is the one that's going to manage all your SSL server certificates and its parameters.
Okay.
All right, sir. Are we good?
Yeah.
So I can have the gateway that can be binded to the content switching virtual server. It will not need an IP address or ports, so it will become non-addressable, right?
Okay.
My gateway will not require SSL certificate because the certificate is binded on the content switching server, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is a single point of configuration for all the policies, that is your authentication and authorization and session. So once you log into your gateway, your terminals, machines, your SaaS applications that are published on the gateway. And once you log out once from every application, right?
Correct.
And then the gateway will do the authentication. So there'll be an authentication point for your traffic management. You need a separate authentication. You don't need a separate authentication server. You remember just now you added the LDAP.
Correct.
This is now where I'm going to use the LDAP.
Okay.
And you can create session policies. So all your gateway session policy properties are inherited by the traffic management sessions. And these are optional policies. So all your session policies are inherited from the traffic management. So this is just a example of how your single sign-on works. So anything to do with the purple is content switching. Content switching receives the request. It will evaluate the policy, right? And it will forward it to the gateway, which is doing the authorization, right? Even for the single sign-on, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and also to the backend traffic. So it is now gonna, once it's done the single sign-on using the HTTP and HTTPS, right? And
Yeah.
then it is gonna go to your backend servers, or it is gonna connect to your outside using the SAML. So
Okay.
my ADC is now becoming the identity provider as well as service provider.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And for you to do a good, successful deployment, go with the platinum license. Make sure you have a valid TLS certificates, and you have all the authentication done for your gateway and the IP address to access, right?
Okay.
I mean, after we come from the break, I'll show you the lab, right?
All right.
All right. So one way to configure your gateway is to use the unified gateway configuration wizard, because that wizard will guide you through all the configuration and create all the virtual servers, policies, and expressions, right?
All right.
So the gateway element would be configured as your unified gateway primary virtual server, SSL server certificate, any optional secondary authentication that you might be having, and you can select the portal theme, right?
All right.
So once I click on that, I will select my virtual server, install the certificate and authentication. Portal theme and application, these are just tweaking, this is just for better look. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So then you're gonna do the virtual server, gonna give a name, you're gonna assign the IP address, the gateway, and the port number, right? Then you're going to install the server certificate. You have already installed it using the workspace lab color, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the same certificate. But if you're using uh, individual certificates, then you're gonna upload all the certificates like the one that you did in your SSL lab, right?
Yes.
And then you're gonna provide me the authentication. If you remember, you have just integrated LDAP, and that's what I'm gonna use.
Okay.
So you have integrated LDAP, you have added the LDAP server, you have created the LDAP policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to tweak your gateway for the how your page should look like with with the images, with the logos, and some information to give it a more corporate look. Whether you do this live or you don't do this live will not affect our working of the gateway, right?
Okay.
And if you want to add the application, this is where I'm going to add the application for the storefront. This is how I'm going to integrate the storefront.
All right.
All right. So once you come back, I will show you how I'm gonna do it, right? And once we come back from the break, I will show you, I'm gonna import all these things and test it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want, we can go for a 20 minutes break.
Okay.
You can have your dinner, right?
Yeah.
And I shall see you after 20 minutes.
Okay.
Emerson, you back?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna start that lab, right?
Okay.
Right, so I'm gonna, give me 1 sec, I'm trying to get, let's get it from here. Right, sir, so I'm gonna configure the gateway now, right?
Okay.
I keep getting this. Why is it opening that page? What? Configure. Ah, it's here. Okay, so here you go. Gonna open that up. So remember, we're going to install the certificate again, right? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to the traffic management, SSL. I'll go to the certificates, and here you'll click on server certificates. See, I've got already this WC, right? I've got the colors workspace lab colors.workspacelab.com, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to install the certificate. First of all, I already have the certificate here in the C drive resources, right? Okay.
Okay.
If you go on the SSL certificates right here, this is the one that I'm going to install now, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I will run and install the PFX is going to be on the local machine, right?
Okay.
Right. And I'm going to now be installing that here. Resources, password one, and I will say next. All right, and I will leave it as it is, and I will say, or you can specify your store if you have a store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna install that or trusted root certificate authorities also, and just gonna install it. Are we good on this, sir? All right, and
Yes.
now I'm going to go on to the ADC and I'm going to the install. So how should I do this one? What should I do here?
We'll click on appliance, I believe.
Why?
Sorry.
Why?
You're going to install it on the appliance, right? Or
Yeah, with a key file name or something, right?
uh, I think dot key as far as I remember.
Yeah. I'll call it wc.workspacelab.com, right? Sorry, workspace lab dash cert key. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to install this and I will go to the local machine because it's on the local machine, it's not on the appliance, right?
Oh, okay.
So I'll browse to the resources and select that. Okay. And the key file name,
Uh, Key file
same
name,
thing, same thing.
same thing with.
PFX only.
Okay.
And password one. All right. I will remove that and I will install, right?
Okay.
This is another way of installing the certificate, right, sir?
Okay.
So next I'm going to do is to create a Citrix gateway. All right. So I'm going to go on to the, now make sure that you have Citrix gateway enabled. So under settings, system settings, right? Basic features, select this Citrix gateway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say okay. And now once you're done with that, uh, make sure you have the authentication and authorization also.
Okay.
This one here. So make sure you have SSL of Citrix Gateway, SSL offload, load balancing, HTTP compression, content switching, rewrite, and authentication, authorization, and auditing. Right? Okay. Because
Okay.
your gateway would require that. Now, if you go under the configure settings, configure advanced features, I need the responder and the RDP proxy, because this is going to do a proxy as well now, right?
Okay.
So, and then now if you see unified gateway, right at the bottom under where it says integrate with Citrix product, there's a unified gateway. You see that?
Yes.
All right. Another thing that I want to show you, that if I go with the content switching, you'll see there will be no virtual server. Once I create the gateway, it will create that content switching virtual server automatically, because it is going to inherit all the session policies, and that also will be created, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to click on this unified gateway and say get started. Okay, this page looks like this, but just scroll down and say continue. Okay. Now you're gonna specify the name here. I'll just say UGW underscore gateway, right?
Okay.
And I will give it an IP address of 172.21.10.150. And the URL or the FQDN that I have been saying, you should define it in the DNS as well, right?
Okay.
And port 443 is there, right?
Right.
Now, because I've used an existing certificate, I've already installed it, or you could have installed it from here. I will use the WC, right?
Okay.
Continue, right? And continue here. You remember we created the authentication policy before when you were doing the partition. This is already there, as you can see, right?
Okay.
This is the policy that you created when you were doing that partition lab.
Yeah. So some of those things, I think, they are showing up in the lab already. I didn't go till the partition lab, right? So I
Yeah,
didn't create.
that's right. You integrated LDAP, right?
Uh, yeah, I didn't complete that part actually.
Yeah, you should, because this is now I'm using that from the LDAP integration.
Right.
All right. If you had a secondary one, you could have just specified secondary, either radius or something if you had multi-factor, right?
Correct.
And I will just say continue here. Now this is where you can specify the portal theme, but I will leave it blank. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
And I will just say okay here. And also for the application, right? I will add the application later when I want to add the storefront.
Okay.
Okay. And I will just say okay, and I will say done. Now if you see on the gateway, there is a virtual server, right? There is this virtual server that's already created, which is your VPN one, right? Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to add it and disable the SSL version 3. Where is that SSL? I want to do enable this, scroll down and disable SSL version 3, right?
Right.
And say done. Are we good?
Yeah.
And you see it's still up, right?
Yes.
Okay. And once you have edited that, you're good to go, right? And you will see if there's the IP address 0.0.0.0, right?
Hmm.
The IP address is 0.0.0.0, right, sir?
Yeah.
And also, if I'm gonna go into the traffic management, content switching, virtual server. You see, it's already created a virtual server of UGW, right? Gateway.
Mhm.
I'm going to edit this also and go to the SSL parameters, right?
Okay.
And label it here as well. So I did not create this. Once I was creating the content gateway, when I was creating the gateway, it created this server, right?
Okay.
All right, and I've done that for the gateway settings also.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I need to configure split tunnel. What is a split tunnel, sir?
No idea. Split tunnel.
Split tunnel is I'm going to send some traffic to a specified server and other ones outside. So I'm going to split that tunnel. One will go into my internal and one will go to the external.
Okay. It's like subnetting a range and then splitting.
Not really, but on the same concept.
Okay.
Okay, so here now I will go to the gateway and you will see policies, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you will see sessions. So I'm going to click on the session profile. Now this is also created automatically. You don't have to create. Once you created the gateway, it is created, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to edit it. And this is where you specify your client experience, network, security, published application, remote desktop, right? So I will enable the client experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see your split tunnel right here. Okay, send through the tunnel traffic only for intranet applications that are defined in the gateway route. Yes,
Okay.
and everything else directly to the internet.
Okay.
I'm going to enable that split tunnel and I will say on, right?
Okay.
Are we good sir, on this?
Yeah.
So I have the split tunnel on, and if you scroll down to advanced settings, all right, I'm going to have on the general tab, I'm going to go down and okay, this is where I'm gonna specify on the general tab show VPN plugin. So I'm gonna check this and check this. So it means it will show me a VPN plugin on with the receiver, right?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Okay.
And I'll just say okay here. Now I've created the split tunnel, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add resources. So gateway and then go to resources, right? Now here I'm going to add intranet applications. So later on you will see how I'm going to be adding the applications here, right?
Okay.
That is why I enable the split tunnel so I can have the network separate. So I'm going to add one and I will say network underscore internal, right? And IP address, I'm going to say 192.168.30.0, right, sir?
Right.
You could specify your destination port, but I'm going to leave it like this, all right? And I'm going to change the net mask to 0 in the end. And I'm going to create. So I'm creating channels for the applications now, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to add another one, and I will say network underscore external, and IP address I'm going to use now is going to be 172.21.10.0. This is for somebody coming from outside, maybe your vendor, your supplier, right?
Okay.
And I am going to create. All right, so under the gateway, I'm going to go to the virtual server. I'm going to edit something here. So I'm going to click on this and edit. Now you see on the right side, you see intranet application, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Hold on. And I will click on the intranet application, right, sir? and I will say no intranet application, and here I will select my network internal, right?
Okay.
And select it and bind it, right? So I'm gonna add another one, which is going to be my now external one, right?
Hmm.
All right, and I'm gonna say done, and I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to create a redirect HTTP to HTTPS. So I'll go back to the traffic management, load balancing, virtual server, and I'm going to add one, call it LB underscore VSRV underscore UGW underscore SSL redirect. Okay, this is going to be port 80, and the IP address I'll give is 172.21.10.150. This is my gateway IP that I gave. Are we good?
Yeah.
And I'll just go and say continue. And on the protection, you know how to do this redirect, right?
Yeah.
I would say HTTPS gateway dot workspace lab.com, right? And I will say okay and done. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
I will save it. So that is done, and I'm now gonna test the default access, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to install the gateway plugin now. Okay, so I'm gonna open maybe Firefox, let's say, and I'm going to browse https gateway dot workspace lab.com, right, sir? See, this is the gateway page now. Contractor, these are some users that I've added in the AD, right? And the thing is, it's going to ask me to download something. All right, so once I click on that, and I'm going to click on network access. So it's going to look for that plugin, the VPN plugin.
Okay.
Because I don't have it, I'll have to, it's going to tell me to download it.
All right.
Hold on. I'm not supposed to do this one. Uh, Hold on, I'm on the wrong place. I'm on the wrong place. You will see a file like this,
Hmm.
an icon on the taskbar, which is saying RDG, okay?
Which
Remote
one?
desktop, this one
Oh,
here,
yeah.
this one, okay? And then you log on to the external client, which is this one, which is your user machine, okay?
Okay.
I'm not supposed to do it on the host. Don't do it
Mm.
on the host, huh? If once you do the lab.
Okay.
I'll just open Chrome and browse to it. Gateway.workspacelab.com, right? Login as contractor and password one. I'll give you network access. Now it's going to look for that plugin. So I'll download this plugin, right?
Okay.
And once that plugin is downloaded, I will go to it and install it. I'll right click and run as administrator and install it.
Okay.
And my machine will reboot. We do this a lot in the production.
Mhm.
Almost every 2 months, I'm doing some NetScaler or VDI setup.
Okay. I means why is it so frequent? Due to updates? Or
Sorry?
why is it a frequent thing?
No, different clients, different needs.
Right. Okay. So, which one is that training, sir? It's like the Cisco, the Citrix, the storefront, and all that.
That is CWare 201. See here first. Okay. The browser is trying to establish a session with the. Do you want to continue? I'll just say yes. You see here the secure access has started, right?
Right.
I'll just reboot this again. I think it's CWS 201. You want the Citrix virtual apps and desktop training, right?
Uh, so we have bit of multiple things. I'm not sure about the product names actually. There is the one I believe. I thought this was Zen app. Zen app, I believe, the one
Mm,
used for.
th- that is uh, that is long gone.
Okay.
CWare dash 201. I think I can't remember the training name. Uh, Let me just check my portal. I actually forgot the code as well.
No worries, sir. You can look at it later on.
No, I'll show you now. It's just 1 minute job. Yeah, it's CWare 201. This is the one that you're talking of.
Okay.
This is the one, virtual apps and desktop. This is the associate level course
Mhm.
where you're going to be installing uh, storefront and everything.
Okay.
Where you're going to create the images, you're going to provision the VDAs, right? And you're going to install the storefront, install the workspace app, right? Manage
Okay.
the users, publish tabs, printing, profile management, site management, basic security, configuring the workspace app, okay, and desktop directors, monitoring, managing and troubleshooting and optimizing. That is your CVAD 201. Okay, so have a look here now. I'm going to access, and you will see now a VPN, secure access VPN icon coming up, right? See this, if you see here, still loading. That's why I don't like Windows. You see this icon here?
Yeah.
Once I log in as a network access, it will give me a secure access, right?
Okay.
So I'll just go to the gateway, log in as contractor, password 1. And now you see, I'm going to go network access. You will see that is going to turn blue. And I'll say open in that launcher, right? It's going to now get connected to it. So it's saying, please wait for the VPN session to be established. Now it is getting established, and you'll see this lock getting blue. See here?
Yeah.
Now you, whatever applications I'm going to give you later on, you will see it right here.
Right.
So if I open this, you will see the session started, right? Connected to the duration, internal network address not enabled, data sent, right? And if you click on this, you will see all this. If you want to see the connections, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's taking time. This is secured application connections. You'll see all of them here, right? You will see your connection information right here, okay?
Okay.
And you will see the configuration. You can change the language to whatever language you want, and it will give you the logs for this. So you can change the log levels and email the logs. Are we good, sir?
Yeah.
And I'll just close this, and then I can log you off. And once I log you off, you will see that if you want to clear this, you can go ahead and clear it, right?
Okay.
So you can clean all of them and all this and just say clean up. So this was your gateway, right?
Right.
So now you see, now I'm gonna be providing you access to the gateway. I've given you that access, and of tomorrow I will do. I want you to do the labs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But now this one's the gateway is part of not there in the 2 to 3, right? I mean, it's the other one, right?
It's 2 to 6 now.
2 to 6. So
So
will be
I will send you that lab guide now.
lab guide and student guidance.
Yeah, student guide. Yeah, lab guide is this one here that I will send to you now.
Okay.
This is the one for day 4 and 5. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just open this and do the share with you now.
Hmm.
This is the one that this is the group I'm sending, I think. Yeah, so you should receive the lab manual 4 to 5, right? Okay. Are we good, sir?
Yes.
Let me know if you have any questions, queries. Please let me know which lab you wanna do tomorrow, yeah? Because I want you to be in a fresh mind because tomorrow is gonna be authentication.
Uh, so I need to try those. Uh,
Okay, if you don't, then we'll see on the lab part. But I really want you to have a fresh mind.
okay.
If not tomorrow, then maybe Saturday or Sunday. You're gonna do all the labs.
Okay.
Okay, because remember Friday.
Yeah. Will not
Uh,
have the.
yeah, so we're gonna. This is already done. We are on the fifth day today because we started on Saturday. One,
Yes.
two, three, four, five, and tomorrow will be six, right?
Right.
And Saturday seven, eight, nine, and 10. So that means we'll finish by 28th.
Okay.
Okay. So if not tomorrow, if you don't want to do lab, but at least I want you to do lab. Uh, you have done SSL offload, right?
Yes, we have completed the lesson.
Yeah. So at least do gateway lab tomorrow.
Okay.
If you don't want to do the troubleshooting one, but at least do the gateway lab.
All right.
Because now the gateway will carry forward to authentication because the authentication lab is going to be a very tedious one.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll if you don't want to do that authentication tomorrow, that's fine. We'll do the lab and then we'll do the theory part, and then you can do the authentication lab on Saturday or Sunday, whichever one we see.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, sir. Let
Okay,
me know
sir.
if you have any questions, queries, anything.
Uh, Nothing as of now. I'll take a look at the labs and hopefully we'll continue tomorrow.
See, I'll tell you what I actually want you to do, okay?
Okay.
Uh, this is your lab manual. This is the lab manual for 4 and 5 day, right? We have done first 3 days, right, sir?
Okay.
I actually want you to do this lab also, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see this is your authentication where I'm going to configure two-factor authentication. Then I'm
Okay.
going to configure AAA advanced authentication. And this is the most important one.
Yes. Samuel. Yes.
SAML, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not worried if you wanna this is and also this is also important. The EPS scan, this managing client connection.
Okay.
So in fact, all these labs are important.
All right.
Okay. This is okay. Configuring gateway. The first two labs are good. Okay. The rest, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But you need to do uh, for module six, lab 6.1 and 6.2.
Okay.
And that would be the end of the training.
Okay.
So tomorrow I want you to do focus on this lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I will do the authentication module, all right?
Okay.
And then I will do the labs.
Fine.
And then either Saturday or Sunday you can do the authentication lab because again I need your full attention here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because all these labs are until 6 the you should do actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Don't call me sir, just call me Kumar, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Man.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you then tomorrow. Good night.
Thanks you.